Good morning, everybody. This is Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I'm about to go to work, but I wanted to show you a journal before I leave. This is going into the shop right away at abitofbirdsong.com. I love the way this journal turned out. I know I say that every time, but it's just so nice to finish something and to be creative and to put things in that just make your heart happy. Anyway, this is a junk journal or glue book, writing journal, whatever you want to use this for. So this journal is about 7.5 by 9.5. And it has 3 signatures. You can see it is covered with fabric. I love this fabric. The bottom layer is kind of this red, rusty red color. It has roses on it and a botanical theme. And then there is a second layer that also has the really vintage looking flowers. I don't think they're roses. It looks almost like a blossom on a fruit tree because we have these beautiful branches, but then there are some roses in the fabric, and you can see more of it on the pocket on the inside. It is tied with this really fun kind of organic, just a cotton strip here. There's a little pocket from some jeans that's been sewn onto the front, and onto the front of that pocket I've just used safety pins to pin on this just a tiny little collage. There's a layer of fabric and then a layer of cardstock and then just this pretty image that I cut out. And that is another one of those collage sheets that I found from Art Chicks Studios. And this is just a little sprig of flowers, faux flowers in the front, just like little silk flowers. I don't know if they're silk. They're pretty in there. Then when we get inside, we have the words Junk Journal stamped onto fabric. And there are pretty cards throughout this journal. A lot of floral cards and kind of Victorian feeling cards. This journal has just got some really pretty paper, scrapbook paper, wallpaper. I did glue some more of these images from the collage pages that I found. There are some book pages from a book of roses and just more really pretty paper, places for you to write and do your thing. This is some of that paper I found about a year ago, I guess, maybe half a year ago. It really takes ink and color. You can see where I distressed the edges a tiny bit, and these stripes are just going to immediately pick up that color, and it ends up being really pretty. You could wash this with any color you want. You could use ink or, you know, maybe a little bit of spray ink. You do whatever you want to with it, but this paper is really fun. There's another pretty card and just more pretty paper. Love all these. That says Lillian E or Lillian. I can't tell if the E, Lillian, I guess. Just lots of pretty cards, pockets, wallpaper. I did not heavily distress this journal. And then here is a calendar page from one of the Victoriana calendars. And of course you can see on this page it's upside down because this page is right. You could collage over this. This book is meant to be embellished and for you to work with it. This is the middle of the first signature, and there's just a really pretty glass bead here. It doesn't come all the way down to the bottom of the page. You could take that off if you wanted to and use it for something else. I let them hang over the top. Also, anytime you have pages that seem a little delicate, this is not a super old page, but sometimes I use washi tape to put on the crease. Of course, the string here is on top. This is not torn, but just remember that journals, junk journals, art journals, they are meant to be worked in. The more layers that you have, the prettier. It's just, you know, layer after layer of whatever pretty thing you want to put into it. That's one of the reasons that Victorian things are so beautiful. It's one of the reasons that these vintage scrapbooks we find are so beautiful. It's the layers and it's the aging, and it is sometimes the wear and evidence of people having worked on it. So there's more paper, another pretty card. You can record things in there or use them if you want to. A lot of the envelopes to these cards are in the back. That is another image cut from the collage page. And there's another pretty greeting card. A lot of space for you to work. I love that. This little boy is carrying the flowers, and right across from it we have the book page from the book about roses. I believe it was David Austin roses. Pretty piece of wallpaper. And more scrapbook paper. And then we're at the second signature, and you can see this beautiful fabric underneath with a tiny little piece of lace that was running across the pocket. That's really old lace. And another calendar page. More of the book pages. There's another pretty card. It says roses are red. I wanted this journal to just be really floral with a lot of roses and Victorian images. There is another beautiful image cut from the collage page, and that as well. There is an old book page. I believe that was from a music book. Another old image. And that's the center of the second signature. And we have this pretty wooden bead that's been painted. So that can go inside or outside. And you can see how pages start to get that little white crease when they're folded. That's just what paper does. Again, don't be afraid to work in this. There's a beautiful image. That is from one of the collage pages as well. And that, just a lot of really pretty paper. Another beautiful image. And there is a pocket with a really pretty card. I love this. It says hope. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. That's Emily Dickinson. Another pretty calendar page. And there's the end of the second signature. And again, you can see that pretty fabric. That is another page from the Victoriana calendar. I love these images. More scrapbook paper and wallpaper. There is actually a greeting card. The front and back of this were so beautiful. I loved the pink. And there's some more of that paper that takes up the color so nicely. Another page from the rose book. Plain paper. Another pocket, and there is a really pretty card. This is a birthday card, but isn't that beautiful? You could collage on the inside of that. Another pretty image. This is a nice journal just to work in. I think there's a lot of space. I left some room between the signatures, and there's a lot of really pretty embellishing, a lot of images, a lot of pockets, a lot of cards, but there's also a lot of space for you to work in. Love that image. That was on the collage sheet as well. And this is the back. So in this very back pocket, we have another card. Just blank on the inside. And then we have some of the envelopes to the cards that are in the journal if you decide you want to use the cards. And then on the back is my Birdsong stamp. And again, you can see the flowers. You can see that there were monkeys in that fabric. It just felt so Victorian. It made me think about the British troops being stationed in India. Did you see the movie, The Jungle Book, the one that was not animated? I believe it came out in the 90s. Jason and I recently watched that again. It is such a good movie. It's one of my favorites, but Kitty in the movie, she loves monkeys. She loves nature, and she's one of the only girls who can name the different monkeys in the forest. So this just felt really Victorian to me. So that's that. It's in the shop now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.